Get out of the window, you doofus. The guy who keeps... All right, it's live streaming now, James.
Where'd he go?
It's live streaming now.
I'm in your office. Is it still live streaming?
Yes, you're on YouTube.
Yes, ma'am. See how this works out.
Okay.
I can't do Facebook because it won't let me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, because I'm in jail.
No. Actually, I'm in the office of a genius. Oh man, he has my friend Bob, he's on the call with us. Work on my communication skills. He really likes Marilyn Monroe. He has a lot of pictures of her. But anyway, Bob also has some poetry he wants to read with us. So if you guys don't want to, well, me and you don't mind listening.
Okay, should I?
Does Mary, do you mind? You're on mute.
Sorry. I muted myself because of my my choir.
Oh man, I love this. I love this kind of stuff. New things are wonderful.
Yep. So yes, Bob, please enlighten us.
All right. Friendship. Friendship is residual, never looking for rewards, but gives kindness and acceptance. Friendship is heart and it is soul melded together in a special role of non-judgmental love, signified by laughter and heartfelt kindness. Friendship never seeks itself, but accepts what is given with graciousness. And when the lights go out, friendship creates a beacon of light so strong it is enough to light up the world, for friendship is a gift of God's love.
I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Wow.
I'll tell you, Mary, Bob's an amazing author. I would say he's right up there with Hemingway, just minus the good bourbon.
And how do you know he doesn't hide the good stuff when you come around?
Well, he is a smart man, so he could.
Yeah. And he probably hides it right under your nose in those cheap bottles.
I'm on too many medications to drink. So, because my medications look like a jelly bean jar. So.
I hear you there.
Thanks for letting me read that. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, and everybody will enjoy hearing it. So I had some awesome kind of well, one of them was totally an unexpected phone call this afternoon. Had an acquaintance from Africa reach out to me, and we just got to talking, and I hadn't seen him online for a while. And you know how things are. I've had a lot of people from overseas get thrown in Facebook jail just for like nothing. But they do get thrown in Facebook jail because of political views and such. And it wasn't that he was in Facebook jail. It was just because we hadn't had that much interaction that he had kind of fallen off of my radar, as they say. So I caught up with him and did a coaching session, and it was just so amazing. And, walked him through trying to find his passion. And that was just really cool. And, yeah, I've had a lot of awesome conversations with new people. How's your week been, Tisha?
It's been better. Let me see, I'm trying to get rid of the background. It's been better. I got COVID, you guys. And so,
Oh,
it was an interesting week, but I made it through, and I didn't get anybody else sick except my husband. So my husband's quarantining at his parents' house because we gotta keep grandma safe over here. So it's been a week, y'all. It's been a week, but I'm here, and I'm grateful, and I'm happy to see your guys' faces, and
So,
Bob!
hi.
not to bust your bubble, Tisha, but you start to feel better, and then it's like, yay, I've got energy today, and then you're flat on your ass again for 3 days.
Oh no.
That's what happened to me. It was like, I had put on Facebook, I'm doing commercial cleaning. When the commercials are on cleaning. But it was like, I did that one Saturday. It took me 8 hours to vacuum my house. And it usually only takes me like an hour. And I was knocked flat out for 3 days after that. And my COVID test came back negative. So the doctor, I was like, well, does it test for the new variant? And he's like, yeah. And I said, so, what are the chances of I didn't swab my nose right? And my doctor's like, it's a self-administered test. And I was like, did you not know that when you sent me? But he said, yeah, you probably have COVID. You can come in and be retested, and pay $100 for the test in his office for him to administer it. I said, no, I'm happy with the fact that I'm getting over whatever it is right now, and it doesn't matter what it was because I'm getting over it.
That's good. That's so funny. I totally was drinking all my water from Gatorade bottles just like you. I would have them lined up because I had to stay at my parents' house. And so we had like all of them lined up. We had like a whole system.
Yeah, I've got another one out by the TV. And and that's what I did. I had one by the couch and by the TV, and I had one on my nightstand. And I had one in each one of the bathrooms. And I would get up from the couch and come use this bathroom and drink some water, get back to the couch and drink some more water. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. And my friend that got it at the same time, who we went to California together, well, not together, but we were there, has been airlifted from Michigan to Indianapolis and is on life support.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, but, if we got this at the same, but it's kind of ridiculous that we would have gotten it at the same time. And, we both, when we got back from California, thought we were had jet lag at first.
That's exactly what I thought I was feeling. I thought I was jet lagged because I had gone to, oh my gosh, that's so funny. That was literally, I was like, man, I'm so tired. Like, I was just so exhausted. I'm like, what is wrong? Wow.
That is funny. Yeah, but it ended up, of course, not to be jet lag.
Yeah.
But I think we were the only two that had any symptoms.
Mm.
And like I said, it's hard to believe that we got it there if, 3 days later we came down with the symptoms. So either James is like mesmerized in his new environment, or we're boring the shit out of him.
A little bit of both.
He's like, let me be honest.
I never realized the the depth of reading material Bob has, and I think it definitely speaks to his well-roundedness as a human being.
No
Sounds
wonder
like-
it looked familiar-ish in the
Yeah, I'm in his
the
office
background. Yeah, okay, that's why.
because if I'm too close to him, our phones will echo.
That makes sense.
Hey,
I didn't realize
Callie.
we were in the same place until now. That makes sense because
But no, you guys weren't boring me. You guys were just talking about a current topic, a current event.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something I just didn't care about and I didn't want to hear about. But yeah, so don't be surprised when, you do something and then, for 2 days later, you're like worn out. And so for about a week now, I've been feeling good. And the doctor said, we need to build up your lung capacity again, so on and so forth. So, I should start walking 10 minutes a day. So just before this call, I've started my, I'm calling it my 5 away for 7-day challenge. So I walk 5 minutes away from home. And guess what? When you walk 5 minutes back, that's 10 minutes.
I love it.
So, yeah, my walk was very slow. But I know that,
Tree challenge walk.
huh?
Callie said, do a tree challenge walk.
Well, there you go. So in my schooling that I'm going through, my catalyst schooling, she said, you should take a walk and choose a color to look for. And, just learn to be in the present. So I took all of the colors I could think of and I folded them up and I put them in a jar by the door and I picked a color before I went out. And that was the color I looked for on my 5 away and my 5 back. And then tomorrow I'll pick another color and do it again. And each day, my plan is, to go a little bit further every day. And then next Wednesday, I'll do 10 away for 7 days and just build it up that way.
That's a really
Bravo.
cool- yeah, it's unique.
Yeah, so I'm going, you can't go from 0 to hero, but you got to start. So that's the plan.
I like it because you're opening up to meditation also. Like-
Yes.
Yeah, that's really strong then.
Yeah, it is. It is. And, of course, this is on top of my regular meditation and journaling. And, I have my hour that I go out, or I either go outside or I step away from what's going on. And I journal, I read, and I meditate.
Yeah, that's a great way to clear your mind.
I could also just put the hairdryer up to my ear.
All right, are you going live?
Where
We
are
are live.
I was gonna
Oh, we're
ask
live?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. I had no idea. This whole time.
Tisha, I was gonna ask you, since you're co-host, do you mind sharing this on Facebook?
Let me see. I'm co-host.
You are co-pilot, ground control to Major Tom.
He doesn't trust me with that.
How come I don't have a notification?
'Cause I
You're
didn't do
not
what I want.
live.
I'm live on YouTube.
Oh, that's so funny. I had no idea.
It should have prompted you when you came on.
I think
Yeah,
it did.
no,
Actually, now that I think about it, I think it did.
I have no idea how this is gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll.
Well, no worries. I'm on my cell phone, but I was just thinking. I'm not sure if I told everybody this, but I have a goal to be seen, heard, and known by every living creature on this planet today
Yep.
and tomorrow. So I'm just gonna be myself. Either you like me or you'll love me. There's only two choices.
He isn't giving you the option to hate him.
Well, hate is love, because those that we hate we give more attention to than anybody else.
Yeah.
I don't see the word hate.
So, what are we discussing? All of the universal laws today? Are we?
Well, the discussion I wanted to have was because on Sunday, I missed this past Sunday, but it would have been week 3 and it would have been on law of correspondence. I just want anybody to know that every Sunday, I'm not sure if I'll be doing group chats or just going live talking about the specific law, since the people are at home in different time zones and all that. But I think the universal laws are very, very important to truth, to realism, not just my belief, or your belief, but the truth of gravity, right? If I live in Africa, I live in North America, I live in the North Pole, I drop a pin, it'll eventually fall, right? You don't have to have there's no story to be told. It just happens.
Right.
I think when we apply these universal laws, specifically the ones that attain to our belief systems and the way we respond, I think it changes our whole realm of reality. Like, I came up with a game plan today, more so than just time blocking my day for behavior. I'm going to time block my day for my thinking. So between certain times, I'll only think about one topic.
Okay.
Tell me about you. So you time block your behavior.
I time block my thinking, my direction of my focus.
Okay, I think before that you had said behavior, and then now you're going to do your thinking.
Yeah, he did say behavior, but you know.
Well,
I was like, I need to do that. That's a good one. I was like, time block my behavior.
well, I think it's just so that whatever we're doing, we're there, present in the action of the behavior.
So you're going to time block your thinking. And
So like when I'm at work, I'll be thinking about work. From 1 to 5 p.m., I'll be thinking Fitzpatrick's. And then from 5 p.m. to 8 or 9 p.m., I'll be focused on my wife.
Okay.
that's awesome.
And then for my sleeping periods, I'll be focused on Neverland.
Neverland. I
Peter
love
Pan.
that, because like you're saying, then you could be fully present, because how many times, oh my gosh, that's so powerful. But how many times are you doing something but thinking about another project or vice versa? Like, that's awesome. That's very intentional.
Be here, be now. Be
Mhm.
here now. And
Yeah.
that's actually the thought of the week for us in my class, is to be here now, which is why when you walk, you should look for a certain color. So that way you learn to stay in the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I was just actually sitting here looking at the law of thinking.
Well, law of correspondence.
Mm-hmm.
But law of thinking works too.
So, Dr. Raymond Hollowell says it is absolutely essential to give intelligent direction to the creative powers of the mind to obtain the best and largest results in our particular sphere of active expression. That's like a whole bunch of big words to say. Pay attention to what you're thinking.
Well, your thoughts dictate your actions.
Thoughts are things and powerful things at that, says Bob Proctor.
Yeah, he's another interesting one, huh?
Yep. And All
But you
right,
know what?
I
you
gotta
know-
love this.
Yeah.
Because of course it's Bob Proctor and Greg Reed. But yeah. Oops.
You know what I like to think about when I walk is the relativeness everything has to each other, but more importantly, the truths we give to anything we do, right? Like any belief we have, any choice we make, everything we do, we justify it before we do it. If we didn't justify it, we wouldn't do it. You know, and everybody's capable of anything under the right circumstances. So to think about it from the creator's perspective as a source, if all things are equal, what different values does every picture, every smell, every texture, every action play into our future self? Because really we serve one master, and that master we serve is our future self. Whether we're learning, growing, developing, is doing it for that future self. Joining a religion, we're becoming a better for our future self, right? So that is our master. That's who we serve. So, how well do you serve your master?
Yeah, Kelly's got her hand up.
Oh, go ahead, Kelly. Feel free to speak whenever, my friend.
It's interesting because
Oh, hi.
hello. It's interesting because in every moment we take a choice, we make a choice. Every moment, like every step you take is a choice. Every time you move, every time you look at something, you're choosing to look at it. Everything's a choice. So like you're saying, set the alarm clock or set the, do the 9 to 5 time zone of what you're thinking. And it's interesting if you set the alarm clock even for 10 minutes and see what you've just been thinking, a lot of it's not what you're doing. A lot of it's just mind chatter that's not really present to the moment. And then in that moment of that time, of that 10 minutes, you can make a new choice to think what you really want or no thought at all.
So good.
When we write a book, we are in no thought. We are writing it from pure source, from the creative power, unless we're thinking of stuff that we've learned along the way that we're writing about. So depending on which way you're writing the book, you're either in no thought and it's just coming straight in from soul and you're writing it without even knowing in pure form, or writing it with already wisdom you've learned.
Right.
Well, that reminds me of a poem that I wrote. May I read it?
Yes.
Please.
Absolutely.
What's my race? How often I ask myself what I could be or was. Since we are all related, there is no distinction except to say we're human. And what does that mean? Does our blood flow any less red? Or when we die, are we any less dead? And when we live side by side, do we put up fences made out of pride? Proud of what? Our hatred or our patriotic prejudice? Most of the time we say nothing so we can avoid the void of silence. The steady drum beat of our hearts is not any less heard in a country free from tyranny. Or was that concept of the past stuck somewhere in the present? Rather, let us say we are brothers and sisters traversing traditions and making our history.
Okay. You
That was
snap.
beautiful. Yeah, that was
Snap.
nice.
That was
You know,
powerful.
it was, speaking of time, of course, time is the only resource that you cannot get back. You lose money, you can earn it back. You can lose your house and you can get another one. But you lose time, you can't get that back. You lose sleep, you can't get that back, but sleep is time. So, you worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, or you worry about what happened yesterday. You can't live in the past and you can't live in the future. If you do, you just piss today away. So you have to live in the here and the now, which really has nothing to do with really, the universal law of thinking. But, if you think about it,
It reminds me of the word trust. And a lot of times when we're thinking about something that we want to control a lot of times, right? If we're like out of the moment, it's like we want to control something. But if we like fully surrender and just trust, then you can be in the present moment. And trust that what's supposed to happen next is going to just happen next. And we don't have to think about what that is. We could just be present.
yeah, just allow things to flow. And gee, how many times your mom said to you when you were growing up, just go with the flow.
Oh, my mom did say that a lot.
Just go with the flow. Where the hell's Flo going? I don't know. I'm just supposed to go with her. So, yeah.
One thing I've been noticing amongst
Tell
many,
us.
I noticed there's a certain way people talk when they do like Facebook Lives or they're on social media. We don't really talk authentically, most of the time. I feel like people are kind of like they're in a trance for, like they're acting right, like they need to sound a certain way to appeal to somebody. But a conversation is a conversation, And I never really liked the conversations that are overly emotional. I've never been really like an emotional topic kind of guy. Like I'm more of a jokester, right? I display my emotions through laughter. That's like my emotion that I like. Smiling and giggling, Sometimes I get a little uncomfortable when it's too sentimental.
That's so funny.
See, that's why I like Tisha so much. She's always laughing.
I know, but it's funny but I'm also very emotional.
Yeah.
I'm also very emotional. But I also do like the comedy and things too.
Being authentic and not putting on airs.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm already currently not a millionaire. I think in the pursuit of becoming one, I might as well just do what I want. I think it's not about wanting in life. It's about having, and whatever you're doing, having the joy of the moment, like we've been talking about. So it's like, if you got to say fuck every once in a while, do it. Like it's a word that really puts a little kick behind a topic, right? It's a culture shock or whatever. So I think whatever we do, it's better to be joyful or happy in the present moment of what you're doing than it is to want something that you're not currently in. Right? So if you're going to be like, if you're going to pick up dog shit for a living, be the best damn dog shit picker upper there is.
Yeah, I hear that. And it just brings to mind, I think I've told you the story before. I reached out to somebody who's a mentor, and I was expecting, I went to the wrong person for a pity committee. And yeah, I did not get pity. I did not get pity. I got basically, like you say, you signed up for it and you know, you just got to do it. But yeah, I was just trying to find exactly what it was that he wrote.
Well, I think that's the gift. If we can find a way to bring that same feeling of a drug or an alcohol without somebody having to do a drug or an alcohol,
Yeah.
now you're onto something, right? Like Bob, who was that? Who was that? The author, that writer that you said that you hadn't heard, and he was talking about you don't need substance to.
Aldous Huxley.
What
What do
did
you
they
guys
say?
What did Aldous Huxley say? He said that it was during the probably the height of Timothy Leary and some others were experimenting with LSD. And I'll never forget hearing this because it changed my life. He said, you do not need any stimulants to use your imagination as a critical tool. In other words, we're equipped already without using anything to try to stimulate. We have it within us. And at that time, everybody was starting to use recreational or whatever. And it really helped me because that's what I remember, that genuine imagination as a child. And it's something you can keep forever. And that's until it becomes a critical tool and an integral part of every day.
Yeah.
Now,
And
a little funny story too about that. So Timothy Leary, tell me if I'm wrong, Bob. Timothy Leary wrote The Doors to Perception, right?
No, Huxley did.
Huxley did. Okay, so Doors of Perception. That's who the band The Doors named their group after.
their hookah after?
The Doors, they named their band after that book.
I bet.
Okay. Now, I thought you said they named their hookah after it.
Oh,
Hey, tell me what a hookah is, would you?
that's where they smoke tobacco. Well, you can't smoke tobacco. It's like the Arabic pipes. They have the tubes that everybody shares off of one bowl.
Oh,
Yeah, I never understood that because that's like there's no like effect, right? So it's just more like a social thing. I've never
Yeah.
understood.
I think it's Arab nature, Persian or something. But the reason the Doors of Perception is so powerful to me, because the Doors changed my life, and that's why I go to Venice Beach still today.
Okay.
Because people are strange when you're a stranger. I love the Doors.
Now, I was just thinking of the country song that, and people are crazy. It's something about drinking and people are crazy.
Well, I'll tell you this. I once heard this, and I've lived by it for at least a little bit. Crazy is normal. Normal is insane. You put a normal person in a crazy situation, they become insane. People can't most people can't interact with certain situations because it's out of their comfort zone, right? So like dealing with homelessness or mental illness, they're not comfortable with it because they haven't developed the pathways to normalize it. So they freak out. Like a regular person in a store, someone starts freaking out, everybody else is like, just, right? But once you become adapted to that, yeah, it's no longer crazy. It's just a situation.
well, the pandemic has certainly given us the ability to face what you just said and to make changes. And right now, it could be even for our own survival.
There's going to be a lot of a lot of people who just don't know what to do, where to go, how to be, because we're all being put back into, the virus is picking back up again. We're basically back to, going back to square one. And people that were just starting to come out are going to be forced back in again. We're going to have a lot of depression and a lot of people not knowing what to do, where to go. And it's just going to be really sad
Well, they're all in luck.
because I'm here for them. That's why they're all in luck.
Amen, sister. See,
Yeah.
all these things are choices, right? And the greater or the more dire the situation, the greater the opportunity.
Mhm.
Look at the depression. The greatest gift to mankind is to service as many people as you can.
Right.
We just have a lot more people to service.
It's sad though. It is so sad.
Well, we'll grow. I think sad is relevant to the time. I always ask people, how long in history before something is no longer sad?
Oh, so the distance, and I don't know why they put a halfway point in here, but let me find it. Hold on. The amount of time. Did you know that 1980 and 2021 are as far apart as 1980 and 1939?
Yes.
Sure.
Say that again?
41 year, or yeah, 40.
1980 and 2021 are as far apart as 1980 and 1939. So in 1939, we had the Great Depression, right?
Mm-hmm. Wait,
19
it was in the 39? For some reason I thought it was 29.
It was 29, yeah.
29. Then what happened in 1939?
World War II.
World War II, yeah.
Okay, and then in 1980, we did the Afghanistan, right?
Yep.
And
And other
20
places.
In 2021, we're at war again. Or we're
Well,
facing war.
I don't think America's ever not been at war. I think we're like a 243-year-old country. I think we've been to war like 205 years. Like we've always been blowing somebody up, man. And we've gotten pretty good at blowing shit up. I don't want to laugh, but it's kind of like, it is what it is, right? Like some people are good at making beer. Some people are good at praying. Other people are good at kicking ass. We're like the modern day Sparta.
Yeah. But James Cardoza,
The one and only.
the James Cardoza. You know who loves you.
I'll always be honest with you, and I'll never judge you.
That's the God's honest. And the man who doesn't know a stranger, he just friends that he hasn't yet learned their name. And I really miss in the mornings when you would do your thing, when you would sit there and you would do the James Cardoza. When you rip your glasses off in the morning.
I'll bring it back. It's just 3 a.m. when I'm doing it now.
Yeah. You don't need the glasses at that hour.
Not if I'm sober.
Well, 3 a.m. is 6 o'clock, right, on the East Coast. So that's kind of doable for other people.
There you go. You can do it for mates. Yeah.
And Callie too. I think Callie, she's like 16 hours ahead of us. So, that's like 11 o'clock there.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I guess the reason I want to talk about universal law is to bring up Sundays every day at 3 p.m. And that's the one day I'll be currently focused on I won't call it a church because I found it to be offensive to some people. But it's really just a gathering of faith-based people of a better future in creating a more accepted, more universally equal place for everybody to be, have the greatest opportunity globally. Once Elon Musk puts these satellites into space and we get internet access or all around the world, think of the amount of clientele that are just going to expand. I mean, product movement already is at an all-time high. We don't have the natural resources to even create the packaging to move this shit. So there's an abundance of opportunity. I mean, granted, mostly by huge corporations who have the resources, but nonetheless, if you have the resource like Amazon to sell your business, we can piggyback off of these corporations, and there'll be a lot of, like, you ever seen a great white shark and they have those little fish swimming on their bellies?
They're cleaner fish, yeah.
Yeah, the great white shark won't eat it, but nonetheless, that cleaner fish gets access to all the best shit the great white eats. So we'll see. It's a great opportunity if you see opportunity.
Yeah, it actually feeds off of the slime that builds up on the shark that is harmful to the shark.
Oh,
These sucker fish actually suck all of the garbage that the shark emanates.
it's like little personal
Vacuum
concierge
cleaner.
cleaning service that it's got going on.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Symbiotic. It's called symbiosis.
Yep. Like the clownfish and coral.
Yep. I find it really fascinating, that so many people during the pandemic picked up dogs or puppies, rescuers, or wherever they got them, and then they went back to work, and they wondered why the animals were so upset. The animals before were with them all the time, 24 hours. All of a sudden, they're gone. So the animals got to be confused a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about like the stress it has on the animals. I really want one.
Pet?
I really want a pet, but yeah, that's the same thing because sometimes, well, right now I'm not, but sometimes, yeah, it's hard to take an animal with you everywhere, and that's how I would feel. I would feel like I'd have to bring them everywhere.
Hey,
So true.
That could be a business idea for me. I could be like a service friend instead of
Yeah, because because that's a good point. Like, imagine you're a super busy person and you're never home, and then all of a sudden you're home and you decide to get a dog, and then you go back to what you were doing before, and then the dog is like, what the heck? Where are you? Where have you been? Like, we don't play anymore. And then that creates like depression for the little animal. Yeah, James, I think that's a good little business thing.
Yeah, we could
call
call it Rent a James.
Rent a James.
I was thinking it's like called an escort, but without all of the services. I'm just a gigolo, and everywhere I
Well, even Tisha gave me the idea. I could be a service friend for the dogs.
There you go. Be donkey daycare.
Yeah.
They have those around here where you drop your dog off and you leave the dog with them so that way they have other dogs to play with. And the staff, they take them out, and they actually have different size runs for the different size dogs. I mean, they've got some huge ass dogs that go in there. Beautiful dogs.
Really expensive too.
Well, I never looked into it because, CBD peanut butter works fine. Just saying. I don't know where she went, but yeah. And unfortunately, she's put on some weight too. So CBD does have some of the same effects as just smoking pot.
Hmm.
Some of the munchies, huh?
But I don't know what she's munching on. Well, unless it's chicken shit. But I mean, the chickens are in a run now. So if she's getting chicken shit, I don't know where she's getting it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
This is gonna be an interesting YouTube video. If I can find out how to watch it later on, I'll share it with you guys.
Yeah, I had questions about that because I've never done a YouTube live. I'm not familiar with YouTube in the posting sense, but I've never actually I don't think I've actually ever seen a live happen, and yeah, I'm curious.
I don't know.
So does that mean after we finish, it's automatically posted, or is there something you have to do, James, in order to post it? Or I don't know how that works.
Well, I tried to do Facebook Live, and it wasn't an option, so I did YouTube Live. So I got 3 YouTube accounts.
So
I
it's
just-
straight to one of them.
Yeah, well, this is James Cardoza. I got one that's
The James Cardoza.
the James Cardoza. I also have one for Fitzpatrick's, and then I have one that I was created for my online coaching for Fitzpatrick's personal training that I did all my content on that was privately saved. So that is basically, if anybody's watching, this is the future for James Cardoza. Creating content, working out with individuals, shooting videos, and basically self-acknowledgement. So if anybody wants to be a part of that, let me know. It's about creating content. Content. Write it down, shoot videos, share that shit, and go from there.
Why not?
Exactly. Why not? I love to see myself on camera. You gotta love, I talked about our future selves. That really is the truth, man. We hold these standards to what we should be doing based on the opinions of others. But as long as you're content with it, because the moment is already the past once you say it. So the farther you look into the future, the more leeway you have on creating that actual truth. So that's why that 5-year plan was always so big, a manifesto, the 5-year plan. But those who have the 100-year plan, I mean, imagine if you had a 3-generation plan. I mean,
Yeah.
shit. I mean, let's say I want my great grandkids to be billionaires. If everybody abided by the same timeline of the plan, it'd be very feasible, right?
And
Yeah.
I can help people do that.
That's how
And-
kings become. That's why Queen of England was the Queen of England. It wasn't her. It was her dad, grandfather, or some shit. Henry VIII, I am, started the Church of England.
I am Henry VIII. I am Henry
I've
VIII.
been married 8 times before. All of them named Henry.
Then that's back to the law of correspondence. Like if that's your thought now and you want that for 3 generations forward, it'll be your mirror in 3 generations forward.
Wow.
Longevity, or what do you call that? Not longevity, they call it where you pass it on to generations. Legacy.
There you go.
Yeah, that's huge, man. That's huge because I had a dream when I first started Fitzpatrick's that even if I wasn't alive with a huge corporation in the office, the big skyscrapers, that as long as the CEO was in the law, had to have a picture behind me on the wall behind his desk. Big giant picture of me doing like one of those Napoleon
Dynamite.
Napoleon Bonaparte's poses, on the horse or something. That'd be cool. That'd be kind of cool. Of course, I'd have him take away some of the wrinkles and the red. Maybe give me a hat. Hey, I can be whoever I want when I'm dead, right?
You know what, though? You can only die once. So, if you're going out, go out with a bang.
So they keep telling me. I feel like I've been to this place 1,000 times already.
It's like deja vu. Yeah.
I mean, the world. I don't mean this like current place, but the world.
Yeah, you kind of look very regal in that very place you're at now. Red demands attention.
I know. I read a lot of manipulation books. You know what I learned from reading manipulation books? I was manipulated into buying them.
But you had to make the conscious thought and the conscious action and the conscious effort to actually plug in all of your, use your debit card and actually, listen to me, I'm making it sound like everything you get is from Amazon, but it is.
Well, I got Audible. I have the book. I like Audible, and the human mind, I think, is space. It is the most unexplored, relevant option that we have to explore. We barely cracked the surface on what the brain is capable of.
I don't know, dude. We know what my brain's capable of.
Oh,
Lots
man.
of stuff.
Well, team, we are coming up on the hour. Soul Sister Mary, Soul Sister Tisha, Soul Sister Callie, Soul Brother Robert. I appreciate you all. This is very, very interesting. I'm curious to see what arises from this YouTube live. Boom! Before we go off, though, guys, I would like to make everybody aware. Bob, please, if you don't mind sharing with us some of the different books that you've written over the past year. So if anybody's interested in reading suspense, murder novels, really good reads. And actually, one of the books is dedicated to me. It's about two twins in England. I'm not going to go too in depth, but it's a really good book about a murder family, right? And just the different concepts and how we ignore things, different. But Bob, if you want to share some, we'd love to hear it.
Okay. The whole series of books started with a rather esoteric sentence in my head. Sammy was an asshole. At that time, I was a little bit unhappy with the role of males that I had before me and what I was seeing going on since I had two daughters. And so with that one sentence, I asked the question, who, what, where, when, how, why? And it led to a series of 6 books. I'm working on the 7th.
Wow.
Of a person, and they're all reoccurring characters. And so I set them in some of the places that I love in California, such as Coronado Island, where the Del Coronado Hotel is, Napa Valley. I love Russia, Russian literature. So one book set in Russia, another one set in London, England. That's the one that James just referred to. Anyway, there's a total, I'm working on the 7th one now, which is set in Sedona, and it's about Native Americans. The oldest hieroglyphs for Indian Native Americans are in Sedona, in the Red Rocks. And so out of that one silly, catastrophic question, a series of 7 books has come. Well, that's about all I have to say about it. Thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That's taking action too. And
Yeah.
Bob's 81 years old and he's written 6 books in the past couple of years.
And the poetry book too. When my wife died, I, instead of running around feeling maudlin and sorrowful, probably I thought of her and created a lot of things, like a couple of the poems that I've read today here. The one on friendship is very positive. So it isn't a sorrowful book at all. It's a tribute to her.
So, Bob, I'm sorry, I don't believe James at this point. How old are you?
I'm 81.
You look amazing.
Thanks. Keep it coming.
I'm sorry, I really thought James was storytelling and adding, putting his toe on the scale.
Nope.
That's
Wow.
So I really meant it when I said Aldous Huxley changed my life, because you don't have to lose your imagination at all. You can develop it at any age, as long as you have mental acuity.
So you don't remember when the wheel was invented, you just remember when they put rubber on it.
There you go.
Yep, that's what my dad used to say.
You guys are funny.
Oh. All right, so Sunday,
Yes, ma'am. 3
what
p.m.
at what time?
3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, so actually I was done mountain climbing at that point. I went out to help a friend do a hive inspection, and they failed to tell me that it was on a hill. And with all of the rain that we had been having, I
Oh,
was
God.
rock
Oh, my God.
climbing.
Oh, my.
And I looked at him and I looked at that hill and I said, you know, girls don't climb mountains. And he looked at me and he looked up the hill like, you know, that's not a mountain, you know, it's just a little hill. And I looked at him and I said, I am going to make it up there. Only because I know once I get up there, I can make it down one of two ways. I can either climb down or I'll slide down, but I can get down.
You're funny. Oh,
And
man.
yep, old girl, you made it up there and down.
Great job, man.
Thanks
Yep.
to everybody today. I really enjoyed it.
Join us again, please.
I will.
Usually we're not this well behaved, but you know, it's just because, you know, you're new.
I would, hopefully you're a lot more wicked than you've displayed.
Mine, the battle of the wits, man.
Yeah, we can be. We can. I really miss that, you know, that one little British guy in your talks on Sundays.
Saturday, Tony, yeah.
Yeah, I miss him. We need to get him back.
I'll make him aware. It's just that right now it would be like they're 8 hours ahead of us, or 8 hours ahead of me, 5 hours ahead of you.
Hmm. All right.
Hey, look how smart I'm getting.
And
I
you're
know.
getting your time zones down.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm a mail order gigolo.
Tisha, get well, Tisha.
Thank you.
Be healthy.
Yeah, it's the worst is behind you. The worst is behind you. But
Well, if it
yes.
makes you feel any better, I was gonna say, teacher, we should have lunch. You know that I have the antivirus that I expel when I speak. The truth that I speak in the universe is a cure-all of all diseases and
Oh, that's
viruses.
amazing. Yeah.
Onions and beer.
I've been told I'm pretty amazing. No, but for real though, we need to sit down because I think we have some financial I'd like to discuss. Because she's a financial leader in the future. She's helping people become financially independent, and that intel makes it a better world for everybody.
Sure does.
Yep. Definitely.
All
All
right,
right.
friends. Y'all take care.
Alrighty, everybody.
Yeah, till Sunday.
He should tell your husband we love him. We hope he gets better soon.
I will.
Bye-bye.
Peace, loving, light, and many blessings.
Oh. Hello, Kelly.
Hello, how you going?
Good.
I am only on my phone today, so I didn't want to come on because it's too hard on my phone for me to work the whole thing.
No worries.
Plus, it's a bit bright and glary in here, and I'm tired from my staying up till 2 a.m.
Yeah, no worries. I have to figure out how to stop doing this live. I think I'm doing live, but I'm not sure how to stop.
Oh, yeah, we're still doing live.
Yeah, I don't know how to stop.
Do you want me to hang up? Maybe that'll work for you.
No, it's okay. I'm at my friend Bob's house. I must start working on my book. But let's connect real soon, though.
Yeah, I was wondering how you're going because I haven't seen you for ages.
I've been a
But
little depressed, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
we'll talk about it more later.
Yeah. Let's get on a call and I'll do some stuff with you.
I appreciate you, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. Love ya.
Love
Have
you
a good
too.